Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Heartwell dev stream, the live stream series where I continue to develop this adorable Souls-like action RPG with platform mechanics and branching narrative. And if you enjoy watching these dev streams, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and boop that bell button to stay notified. Now, when we were working on the last dev stream, we finally managed to finish placing all the enemies in the upper, what we're calling the central well section. So all over here, we have all our rattlesnakes, this upper section we were testing quite heavily last stream. And now we're going to continue building up with the lower well. So start here, we're going to work our way over here to the left and downward and go from there. Should be in its science development. Also, definitely looking forward to especially testing these lower sections. Also, for those who are wondering why there's no music in the background today, it's because the website I use to play essentially royalty-free music is, for whatever reason, has gotten rid of all of my light songs, so there's not much I can really put on the background here that might at the moment. So we'll just be a bit more casual stream then. Okey-doke. First place to start will be right here. We're going to make another hallway of snakes, or rattlesnakes. Let's do that. Probably going to need at least 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. Probably like 11. So 11 or 10. I'll do something like that. Put this one more towards the middle. Move this one over here. That one up there. I want like a little safe spot. I think that maybe that corner might work. Or maybe like around here. No, need a platform. Then we'll probably need at least one more to make that work. Let's duplicate that and move that down there. Yo, hello, KK Sparks. Thanks for dropping by. How you been? I'm working on some new art lately. We are currently placing some more rattlesnakes and cobrattles in the lower dungeon. try that. Actually, probably needs a little bit more space for Dorothy to run between these different rattlesnakes if they're going for that route. All right, let's give it a try. I need a rest here so we don't keep getting pushed through there. All right, so this is our classic rattlesnake hallway. Let's see how it's doing. Yes, Source says, you're doing all right, working on a lot of Legend Warriors, although your mind is currently on Yu-Gi-Oh! Your mind may move to JoJo's. The final batch report sets its final draft. Yo, nice! Is there like a new season of Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, Kick Parts, or are you saying just you play the card game? Okay. Can that hit me here? Yes, it can. Okay. Okay, we need more space there, I think. Okay, so adjustments need to be made. That's okay. That's why we check these things. You plan for Legend Warriors, your playlist is expanding. Nice, nice. You plan to play the card game eventually, but so far you haven't seen too much for the new series for you. New series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. I was just curious, as you mentioned, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was on your mind, and for me, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Hasn't really been on my mind since I was like really young. I used to play it all the time as a kid. The game can be surprisingly complex, shall we say, or at least the card game can be. Try something like that. Okay. Well, at least we've shown that the rattlesnake hallways still are dangerous, which is what we expect. The card game has gotten much harder as years went on. True, very true. There's so many like effects now and such, and there's like, you know, entire tier lists of like banned cards and things like that. It can be confusing at times. Okay. Nope. At least we got our speed back. Can I stay in here? I can. Alright, now to be fair, we do want at least one spot here to be standable. I'd much rather it be around here. Starting to sound much harder, including concepts like SYZ summoning, like something true. So the thing about lots of bands, new formats to play called Rush Duel. Ooh, what are those, JJ Sparks? Okay. Alright, I like that last section. I like this section. I think this middle section feels like it's a bit too straightforward. Like, I just hold left and up and I'd probably be fine. So, I think what we can do is we can move that rattlesnake over there. And just ever so slightly to the right, so that's kind of like a catching point for the player if they're not really paying attention. We can move this rattlesnake over here. Let's see if that's enough space to work with. So far, it's a new concept for much younger duelists who are getting into the series. You haven't know much about. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, as long as you enjoy it, that's what matters. Okay, so we can do that. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a bit, still feels a bit too straightforward. The problem I'm running into is that I don't think that what did I do in the previous section? Yeah, the previous section, one of the challenges for like these horizontal parts is that the player gets stuck if they jump into a rattlesnake that's very close to like a wall that's above them. So we have long horizontal sections like this, it can be a little bit more challenging to figure out what to do, because if I move this rattlesnake over here, I think what will happen is we just get stuck if we try to jump that. Your period calls version, so you're not getting the show shot. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And that's why I was afraid of. That. Alright. I think the play here is going to be then keep that there. Instead, do something similar. Let's try that. Doors is a new one we haven't seen it yet. Fair enough. And how's JoJo, by the way? I know I don't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not personally my cup of tea, but that's okay. Alright, I think staying here makes sense. We're just trying to run through this. We get completely destroyed. That's entirely my fault. I just, to be fair, this hallway isn't meant to be that big of an obstacle, considering this next room over here is going to be completely very, 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 very difficult. Because, as we already demonstrated here, rattlesnake plus cobrattle equals essentially rattlesnake meat field against the cobrattles. Oh. Well, that's a problem. Alright, let's, yeah, I'll flip those two around. Okay. Alright, so far really good for being the last part of the main series. It's bizarre to say the least, but basically the parts after part 6 is an alternate timeline. Ah, I see. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I should turn off grid for a second. Is that the... yeah, it's not the grid. Just want to move these around for a second. Okay. Let's duplicate. Some more. For this area, we're going to need a lot of rattlesnakes, so let's at least try to have... We assume one rattlesnake per square. That means 12 plus 9 plus 2. Probably like 22. Plus 1 rattle, of course. That's the main thing that makes this room devious. Let's duplicate that. Though now you think about it, you have no clue part 7 on will be anime or not. Really? So what would that even be? Would that, you're saying it just be more of a manga, or is that not what you're getting at? If not, you can just read the oh right, read the manga. I see, for 7 onward. And speaking of animes, KJ Sparks, where are you at in Spy Family? Or have you have you been keeping up with Spy Family? So that's definitely one anime I enjoy quite a bit. One of the few examples of like a slice of life anime that I just genuinely enjoy for its premise. Like the slice of life genre appeals to a lot of people because it's a bit a bit simpler and feels more like, as this name would intend, a slice of life. Oh, you wrapped up at the last episode. Nice, yeah. That was a pretty good one on both the main episode as well as the little short at the end. Those were both very, very good. But I think what I like about Spy Family is that it is able to... There feels like there's a broader narrative going on. And to me, that's so super, super important. Yeah, every time I see a new character being with Yor or Lloyd, you can't help but get the spray bottle. Yes, you understand exactly. I was completely with Anya that episode. I was like Anya just filling straight facts is like, do not get, we must protect Yor. Protect at all costs, even though Yor's probably the most, I mean, isn't Yor like the most overpowered character if we're going from like power levels? Like if we were going like by Dragon Ball Z logic, Yor would be like, I feel like Yor would be similar to Goku in terms of power level. She could just handle almost anything that comes her way. Yeah, very true. I think that's the thing. I think Frost is an excellent character and a really fascinating parallel to Lloyd. But at the same time, we must protect Anya. We must protect Yor. We must protect Lloyd. We must protect the heads of the family. So something I would like to see personally, because again, when I think of anime especially, I think of like, okay, where could the story go, things like that. I think it's odd because you don't like Yuri, but yet you would love to see him interact with Anya. Or fair enough. I mean, the interactions are all part of the fun. They're a hilarious family that also just happens to be completely overpowered because I guess dad manga logic, but that's fine. What I want to, like, if I were theory crafting, like, okay, what would be a fantastic story for the, like, in terms of like, especially like Lloyd's character and Yor's character, I think it would be neat if I think it would be neat if there comes a moment when Lloyd basically chooses his new family over the organization he works for, and that pits him like in direct forces some kind of direct confrontation between him and Frost, since in many ways Frost has looked up to Lloyd for a long time and sees him as like, you know, her mentor, and you know, that's his protege. And it's like, it'd be the sort of thing where kind of like in, I'd almost liken it to Assassination Classroom in the sense where it's like, well, you have this person that you've looked up to for a while, and suddenly everything you've been trying to embody about them is now changing. I think that'd be a pretty interesting arc to see for... Yeah, now that you'd like to see also more Anya and Danny interactions. Of course, we can't get enough Anya and Danny interactions. I mean, the whole Griffin episode was just very, very, very good. It's like, oh, we fought valiantly in a war. Like, what the heck is this? But that's all part of the fun. But I digress. I do think that would be a nice dichotomy. I also think it would be good if there, again, came a moment where Yor and Frost have to actually fight, and Yor's able to show her just how capable she really is. I think that'd be cool to see as well. But also just having a moment where Lloyd's like, I'm sorry I trained you the way I did, like I was, my view of the world has evolved, or something to that effect. Yep, you can see... Very true, JJ Sparks, very true. The fan art, the wholesome fan arts of Spy Family is also amazing. I have this set up. Okay, so up, down, up, down, up. All right. Something else I would like to see. Something that I think they might be building to, though I'm not sure. You're also having some conflicts with being an assassin as well. To be interesting, especially if she yeah, that's what the other thing I was thinking of. Like, I feel like there might, like, if there was a way to reveal to Yor that Lloyd is who he is, I feel like that's the way it would have to happen, or at least one of the ways it could happen. Is if she got the contract to go after Twilight, I think that would be like a pretty big eye-opening thing. And it could also be the catalyst for saying maybe them starting to open up about like what, you know, their double lives, and saying like, okay, we need to break out of this system if we're going to maintain this family, so to speak. Hello, Copper Nicholson. Thanks for dropping by. How's it going? I'm sorry to hear you're having a rough day, dude, but I hope you had some good rest tonight. Yeah, but back to Spy Family. I think it'd be, what I think would be really cool to see is if there was like, is if the main antagonist was a foil for the Spy Family itself and not just Lloyd. So this guy we keep, you know, Damien's dad. We keep hearing about him in the background, and we've gotten an ever so occasional glimpses at his character, and it feels to me like they're setting up Damien to be almost like part of like a kind of a broken family home, in a sense, in the sense that, you know, his father's never around, and he's you know, Damien's father's always doing whatever he needs to, quote unquote, for the cause. In many ways, he's like a foil towards Lloyd from that perspective. However, I think it would be awesome if they took that a step further and made it like, okay, that guy, that whole familial structure they have is just feel like an exact foil to the Spy Family. So with Lloyd and the dad, what maybe the guy has like a wife or something that's also very, very vicious and helping with the cause and things like that. And Damien, of course, stands in stark contrast to Anya. If you're a Lloyd, don't marry, because they may or may not be slowly falling in love. At least they should marry for Anya. Yes, exactly. Anya already has stated that Yor is her favorite mom, and no one should ever. So, Anya deserves the family. And also do it for Bond. Bond deserves to have a happy family, too. Good news is that I think you did well in your drama interview yesterday. That's awesome. Bad news is that my phone crashed. Sorry to hear that, Copper Nicholson. But hopefully they didn't really lose too much. Why don't we just do this in mass? All right. It can Copper Nicholson, but not all the time. I think like if they did it, if Yor and Anya is also interesting, you'll have to know her backstory and what happened to her parents. True. I have some theories about that, but going to the broader perspective about Lloyd and Yor staying together, I think if they want to go the platonic route, it would just be, hey, I know we're not really a couple, but we both really love being around each other, and Anya's amazing, and she deserves to have she deserves to have her own little place to grow up in. So let's make this work. That sort of thing. But I'd also, I mean, me being someone who enjoys romance as well, I think it'd be cool to see if they actually did go the route. No, like, because I definitely have gotten signals, especially recently, that Yor is genuinely falling in love with Lloyd. And I think Lloyd might be doing the same towards the rest of his family, just in his own way, so to speak. It's just taking him a bit longer to break out of his out of what he's used to doing. So regarding Anya, my theory with her is that her powers are scientific in nature, which, okay, pretty obvious, Antomicx. What do you mean by that? So what I mean by that is did anyone else pick up on the fact that Anya couldn't use her powers because of I think it was like a new moon or something, but it was just because of that one very specific position of the moon, she couldn't use her powers on that one day that happened to be when her midterms was. Yeah, especially since Lloyd made changes to his life since he's adopted Anya. True. Crazy part's true. But if you guys remember that episode, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, that reveals a lot, doesn't it? So what that leads me to believe is that I think Anya's powers are tied to either like some kind of satellite or maybe some kind of like either device on the moon or like secret military base on the moon or something like that. Because why else? Just think about it. Why would it matter if that wasn't the case? Like, clearly, if he's something with her powers, has to do with the moon. And that also leads me, and that also ties back to how whenever Anya is using her powers, it always kind of sounds sort of like electronic-y and staticky, just like harmonics, almost like da 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 da. And you see little sparks flying between her two little pointy parts on her head, which leads me to believe that even like in the super earlier scene where we saw Anya's hair tied up in like little balls of hair, where normally her little pointy accessories are, I really do not think that's just a stylistic choice. I genuinely think behind, like underneath those balls of hair is like some kind of antenna, if you will, that allows those waves to be connected to her brain. Well, no, Copper Nicholson, it's set in the Cold War, so they would definitely have the technology to actually go to the moon, or at least put satellites into space. And like having like some kind of satellite that's like either orbiting the moon or just like that was placed on the moon that, you know, allows for that kind of telepathic abilities, I think would all make sense. That sounds like an interesting theory. You don't think you go that far in terms of theorizing due to not being a sciencey person, but yeah, that could make sense that her powers are science. I do. Well, the reason I say that is because she was experimented on. Anya was experimented on. We already have established that. So it has something to do with that, and it also has to have something to do with the moon, because otherwise there would be absolutely no bearing on the moon's like current position to her being able to use her powers. Anyway, that's a theorizing rant over. We're still placing rattlesnakes in this area. Also explained that she might not have had parents because she could have been born in a test tube, but I doubt that too. Because I think it's a lot more likely that maybe Anya was an orphan of some kind and was taken into the test thing. Or, if we want to go really dark, what if her parents were actually like the ones conducting the tests on her and did this willingly, and Anya's in an orphanage because she ran away? I think that would be an interesting way to go. Though, to be fair, Anya did sob during the school interview when it was brought up, like, do you like your new mommy or something like that, or how do you feel about your old mommy or something like that. And so there could be an argument to be made that Anya at least was aware of her, we'll say her birth mother. What circumstances surround that? Again, no idea, but it's interesting to think about. Like, could there come a time where Yor actually meets Anya's birth mother? I have no idea. All right, so we placed a lot of rattlesnakes here. This currently just looks like a little X-shaped maze, which isn't going to work. We need to make a little path for the player to want to go through. I think something like that could work, because we have the cobrattle there. Ultimately, we want the player to have to like take a long route through this if they don't jump. That's just like on the moon that was brought back to Earth, some kind of radioactive moon rocks. I don't think that would be a Copper Nicholson just by itself, because again, Anya has, you know, her two little pointy things on her head. I do not think that's just a stylistic choice. That would be really dark. You did see a phantom where her parents were defeated during the experiment. Yeah, that could also be possible. It could also be a situation where where either the parents are died under mysterious circumstances, or the parents like ran away, or the parents tried to save Anya. There's a whole bunch of different ways they could take it. But I do think it'll be interesting to see that arc unfold when it does. It has to happen eventually. I'm also glad, at the very least, in the latest episode of the Spy Family, they did clarify that that's the operation that Lloyd's undergoing is meant to be more of a long-term thing. So it's not like he's just trying to defeat his target. It's just that he's trying to essentially become the person with who can listen on what they're planning long-term. So that, to me, leads me to believe that there's going to be a lot more seasons of Spy Family, which is fine. As I was a little confused, at the start of season 2, I'm like, okay, if they're like really in a time crunch here to get those Stella, shouldn't we be seeing like almost every other episode Anya, Uri, and Estella? But no, that wasn't the case, and that seems to be because they're pushing for more. No, this is a long-term thing. They're essentially trying to plant Lloyd to take that into account, and I think that made sense. It definitely will give a lot more time to flesh out a lot of the side characters, and so on and so forth. It could also be a situation where we're in the war and she was taken in by scientists. She has no... I see. Yeah, I think this manga's still going. Yeah, as long as the manga's still going, that means there could be a lot more seasons of Spy Family, because it's an incredibly popular show, and rightfully so. It's very, very well done. It's just... Alright. Will this work? I think we're actually going to need more rattlesnakes here, if I'm being honest. So there is clearly a path here. It's going to require some more placement. We'll have to think about this. Oh, hello, Antomicx. Right now we're working on Heartwell, so... Oh, right now I'm placing some enemies down, and then we'll go test it out. I do not play Apex Legends. I'm not much into the Battle Royale stuff at the Antomicx, though I recognize that it's, there's definitely an audience for it. Yeah, what we're working on right now is Heartwell, which is a game I've been working on since, I want to say, late in March or early April of 2020. So, still a ways to go with making Heartwell, but hoping to demo out, in the coming months. Because I definitely have been, shall we say, pouring my heart and soul into making Heartwell the best it can be. Will this be on Steam or Epic? If I had to choose, definitely Steam, but that's all dependent on how I figuring out how to properly package like the application and how to make a Steam page and all that, because that's a very new thing for me, at least. Something I'll have to learn to get used to. But definitely looking forward to it when that time comes. All right, if that's all there, I think we need some more rattlesnakes. Yep, we need 4 over there. Any other places I can place rattlesnakes? Start placing in that corridor. All right. We'll do. Hey, Dractor, thanks for dropping by. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. There, and there. Okay. Hey, Dractor. Yeah, for those who are wondering why it's going to be so today, so the website I've used for providing music for whatever reason has deleted all my light music soundtracks. So we're kind of going mute this stream. That's something I'll have to figure out. Probably either off stream or during a break. But at the very least, development's still going well. What I could probably do is again during the first break I can try and at least get one of the quote unquote music channels playing some tunes in the background. Right up from the website I've been using. But beyond that, apologies on that chat. I know the music's nice for these kinds of streams, but these be the circumstances we find ourselves in. Repper says the tutorial launcher is so vague. True, it is vague, but I don't think it's like bloated. If you get what I'm saying, Drekor, because again, this feels like you might find this interesting at the end of the virus, since I'm pretty sure you enjoy game design as well, just in general. I wanted to my design philosophy with Heartwell's tutorial dungeon is to make it a dungeon, and what I mean by that is actually treat it with the same love and care as a major dungeon in the game. So Copper Eric, you have been looking at the Chainsaw Man. I have not watched it. I do want to watch it at some point though. But yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Chainsaw Man. But regardless, let's get into testing. And I'm realizing my mistake. Oh dear. I think the safe spot here is probably a bad idea because the cobrattles are... No. Okay. I'm gonna have to move that. But either way, we came over here to test I think the reason we have that there is so that we don't get stuck in a wall in the well up here. If I open up this frame, yeah, I'm around there. So we're gonna have to test some things out real quick, chat. I want to make sure that for our testing purposes we don't just get stuck somewhere. If I place this here, for example, will I end up stuck in a wall? That is an important question. Lots of demons and lots of chaos. So you're saying it's normal anime. Does that sound like the perfect description of, okay, we are on a wall, but not by much. If we were one block over to the left, we actually would probably be okay. So actually, here might be optimal. Yeah, I'm glad you agree though, Drekor, that yeah, there's basically no padding because again, this dungeon was structured to be like a legitimate dungeon, and in addition to, of course, teaching the player. So all these basic enemies, the rattlesnakes, the cobrattles, and cobras, get their time to shine as gameplay mechanics, and not just as like your throwaway like undead that are basically not used too much effects later than that. Awesome, glad you like that. Now let's get to testing. So this first hallway isn't meant to be too bad, especially since it's horizontal in nature. We just kind of off to the left, easy peasy. Now the real battle begins. Oh dear, this is gonna be interesting to test. Okey-doke. So, let's start. Do we get stuck on there? Like, ow, ow, ow. Okay, no we don't, and we're dead. Perfect. Anyway. Nope, you should definitely warm up then Copper Nicholson. Oh, okay, so in a way I'm kind of glad that hallway isn't too bad, because if it was, it would just make this even worse. But this section's meant to be tough because there is, if we look at our little level editor here, there is a very useful item there, so it needs to be a worthy challenge, and I think, again, just the addition of the cobrattle should send shivers down the spine of anyone who understands what this means for this section, because the cobrattle can fire its spit through allied enemies, in this case the rattlesnakes, but Dorothy cannot fire her planar projectiles anyway through these enemies, which makes this room a complete nightmare, quite intentionally. Speaking of that, we want to move you slightly over. Let's make sure we don't like get stuck in a corner there. I don't think we will, but nope. Aw, okay. Oh, did I not copy over? Might not have copied over enough of these. Alright, need to do that back to start. No problem, that's equipment stuff. I hope you have the good shower. Alright. Yep, okay. That works. Well, jumpy test. Okay, I don't think we can get stuck there, but we're dead. Yeah, it seems to yeet us to the left, so we should be okay there. Oh boy. A lot to say. Speaking of Spy Family, you did sort of like the main story of one of your Legend-oriented parent Lost Anya. Now, while that would sound dangerous because of Lloyd and Yor, these two were back in their time. I see. Okay, that's cool. Sounds like fun to do. Oh dear. Alright, well, we need to fix that spot. Anything else? Well, can we get around like a bridle? I'm not sure. Alright. Slightly over. We need to move the prowl a little more to the left. Alas, never finished it. Fair enough. TJ Sparks, fair enough. Oh. Were you about to say something, Dreftor? You did say, oh boy. You'll have to at some point, especially since you have a Mon character that will get along well for. Okay, then go for it. TJ Sparks, go for it. Okay, so keep trying. We can't fit that gap. Interesting. Okay. Maybe that one's a bit more select. Well, we'll see, Drector. We'll see. I'm trying to test it out. But we also saw that, again, the rattlesnakes may not seem intimidating because they're just, you know, they're stationary melee enemies. But after you kill them, they can mess you up if you just make a mistake. Do I have VODs? I do, Anthony and the Virus. In fact, on my YouTube channel, I have VODs of every single little dev stream I've been doing for Heartwell. And what I like to do on the dev streams is I do stuff like level design and some tile set making and a little bit of programming here and there just to show you all what I'm working on. But anything that I would consider spoilery, I do on my own time. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this works. So, okay, we can fit that gap. This is chaos. No! No. We need to move the snacks a little bit over. Might also be maybe too many snacks. Maybe we got overboard with snack friends and we need to reevaluate. Okay, so it was that snack. Let's move that snack over here. I think we can make those gaps. Well, oh, I not sure when you add it. Not sure I add what record. But the color difference between different height levels is great. Oh, thanks, record. So this is not what the dungeon actually looks like. This is just for my own scene of where the different tiles are. This is not what the player would see. Also, PB and Pretzels, thanks for dropping by. Thank you so much for the bits. Really appreciate it. If I were to like make these invisible, you see what the dungeon actually looks like. Let's just make those invisible real quick. Are these graphics final? Great question. So what you're seeing here is just the actual like collision. So this is not what you would actually see. In terms of what you would actually see, I'm just trying to adjust this so we don't see any of the collisions. As the collisions are, seeing the tiles like this are more for debugging purposes. Which happens a lot more than you would think. Okay, so and also anything that's like a number or an X like this is obviously not final. That's all just describing like the height of a tile and things like that. What final graphics would look like? Okay, I forgot to make that one invisible. More like this. Minus the X's, that would be invisible. The background would be black, not white, like older games. It would look a lot more like this, or like that. One making about VeggieTales? No, VeggieTales is not my IP. I love VeggieTales, but that's not like... That's not my IP. So yeah, this is kind of more what the game will look like. In terms of like the art style and stuff. Definitely a very old pixel arted RPG from like the 90s sort of look. Think like Shining Force. But yeah, your point's well taken. I did deliberately go out of my way to try and make the color difference for the different heights because I mean, you remember me talking, telling you before, Draktor, about the things. PB and Pretzel says you like the snacks. I'm glad. I love the snacks too. They're very simple enemies, but don't let that fool you. Even the rattlesnakes can defeat Dorothy at player level at vitality level 0 in 3 hits. So, baby bitches, baby bitches. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. No, let's rattle down it. I will not tell you anything on the virus. I'm working on Heartwell. But yes, the idea is that the snacks all complement each other. So the rattlesnakes are stationary melee opponents, the corrals are stationary ranged opponents, and the cobras, which not in this frame yet, but are in this frame, like these, those are moving melee opponents. And that's the basic enemy types for the tutorial dungeon. And yes, all of this and more, and with like this frame over here and this frame over here is the tutorial dungeon. There's a lot to do. But I digress. The snacks are adorable, but they're also vicious. Okay. So our goal to see is basically, can we kind of just run through this like this? If we can, that's good. Also want to make sure there's not too much of a gap there, because then the player can just run past way too easily. Yes, when I was much younger, I did. Also, that was a healing charge, which we did not need. Let's make this. You're dead. I think that's doable. I think that's doable. But also, I think there's too much space. Too much space there. Might also be good to have a little bit of space here to basically, if someone wants to fight the cobrattle, at least having a somewhat even playing field to work with. This is a very, very vicious. Fair enough, Epic Virus. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Thanks for dropping by. For $40, no. Not $40, no. So, what... I mean, I'm going to... When the time comes to price the full game of Heartwell, I'm going to price it based off what I feel would be a reasonable price for the amount of effort that was put into it and the amount of content it provides. So, in my case, it would probably be closer in price to something like Undertale or Amori or Crosscode, somewhere in that range. So, that'd be more like the, again, probably somewhere between like the $10 to $25 range, not $40, no. Like, $40 for this game, way too much. Let's go, we did it, yes! It's doable! It's doable, yes! Yes! VTuber versus no! That's not what we do here. Alright. On the plus side, chat, we did manage to actually run through that. So that is doable. Like, it looks disgusting, but it's actually quite doable. I think there's actually more space to run through here than there was in the previous sort of snack area. And of course, if we were to hop up here, then we would be able to get our shiny, which would be right over here. But of course, with the way this is designed, I can't help but imagine, like, there's going to be at least one player somewhere that's going to fail this jump and have to do that again just to get their shiny. And that's no idea. It's part of the fun. Yeah, we can fall down here. Rest up. Let's make sure that now what I'm going to do, chat, is I'm going to try to basically run through this without going the intended route to see if there's any gaps. And also try to see if we can get ourselves, see whether or not we get stuck on anything. So, we know this is the intended route. Question is, can I fit through there? Probably not, but we'll check. No, we cannot. And we are dead. Okay, what if we try jumping? Which, now that I say that out loud, sounds like something you hear in, like, Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Like, try jumping. Cobrattle ahead. Rattlesnake ahead. Anyway. Alright. If I jump like here... Whoa, that eats us forward into death! Into complete death! Anyway. Right in front of a bottomless pit, obviously, yes. No. So, the thing, at least with the current design of Heartwell, is obviously the tutorial dungeon has no bottomless pits. I'm honestly not sure if I want to include bottomless pits, period, just because I think part of the fun of Heartwell will also be some, the best way of bringing exploration things, and with bottomless pits, that just feels like a unnecessary, like, pitfall, especially with having to pick up your, the that fragment of the manifest whenever Dorothy is defeated. So what I'm thinking more so is if there's like a hole or something that the character could fall down, like I'd have to program this, but I feel like if there was something like that, it should actually go somewhere and not be like just instant death. Okay. Yeah, you have to be careful with how you're walking through there, because if you try to get stopped on anything for even a fraction of a second, you're probably dead. Alright, so we know that jumping there is actually a little bit of a shortcut. Okay, we can definitely jump that, which, you know, not too bad. Especially since if a player's going to jump that, they probably have to manage their stamina a little bit. I wonder, though, can we take that to the next? Oh, okay. Ow. What happens when we jump, like, around there? If I jump here. Okay, that just eats us into that corner, that's fine. Ow. I'll rip Dorothy. Alright. Let's try jumping where the rattle is, as well as over there. So I jump on the rattle. That used to the other side, it's fine, and we got completely destroyed by the rattlesnakes. Alright. What happens when we jump over there? Damn it, I managed it. Yes! You guys saw that slide, right? We just went like, nope. Oh, that's amazing. There is a part of me that wants to put a snack here, like move the snack over here so that it's not as easy to make that jump. Like, still have it be possible, but like make it more of a skill thing. Like, Chad, isn't that, is that evil? I don't think that's evil. The jump won't be impossible, it just won't be as easy. Alright. So now we try to jump this. Yes! Yes! Oh, I love that so much. Just get completely, like, it's still technically a shortcut. We'll definitely throw players off if they're not accepting it though. Alright. Ow. Yeah, I think you'd have to sprint and jump that to make that consistently. Alright, what if we try leaning towards the right there? Would that work? Okay, that works! But you have to really capitalize on it, because if you don't, they'll just, again, get completely destroyed. Let's at least make sure that there's still enough room to get through that section. Come on, Dorothy, you can do it. I believe. I believe. Okay. Let's just do this the normal way. Ow. I know we can fit through that gap, I just got stuck. The fact that I keep getting destroyed over and over again should show that this section is of the proper difficulty for what we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah, you really can't. If you're just gonna run through that, you really need to know what you're doing. Okay. Come on! We had it! We had it! If this doesn't feel like a Souls game, I don't know what does. I'd say even without taking damage, I still think it's doable to get past without taking damage, but I think it will require jumping at like the right points. Because again, because technically the jump is still part of the toolkit that the player has. So let's see if we can do a damageless attempt. So jump through that. Okay, we're gonna jump damageless death through that. I think what we'll have to do is we'll need to time a jump probably over the cobrattle. I think that's how we do it, because that jump is quite doable. And then we'd be on the cobrattle's reload, so to speak. Alright, so we'll take it. Oh yeah, that's totally doable. 1 second. I mean, if it's a true no hit, that means if we don't get hit, we won't die, so. Or we can just get completely destroyed. That's also fun. Look, it is doable, chat. I think damageless is doable. It just requires a very precise timing. And probably good utilization of sprinting and jumps. Actually, we haven't really tried a sprint jump through that section. Because a sprint jump can let you cover some significant distance. So, maybe we try a sprint jump like around there. Oh yeah! Look at that, chat! Look at that! Completely damageless. Yes, the room's easy. GG. I'm just kidding. To understand where the sprint jump is requires some practice, but as you can see, again, that's totally doable. Like, you do it in a couple seconds if you know what you're doing. So, it fits what we're going for. Okay, in that case, it can fast. True. Yeah, because I consider the sprint jump a kind of a risky maneuver, though, because if you think about it, you're wasting stamina while you're moving, as well as from the jump. The jump's already a significant amount of stamina, so if you mess up your jump, you're in serious trouble, because now you can't run away. So, I think that works. Alright, and I think with that note, that's actually a good spot to stay first, right? So, don't come over, guys. I will be right back. Alright, chat. Welcome back, everybody. So, I got some tunes back. Unfortunately, I'm just putting on a station right now. I don't really, a station on the same website. It's just I don't have my Lights playlist anymore, which is a shame. So, we'll just see what we got from the randomness. Yeah, this is too loud. Just let me know, chat, and I'll turn it down. But yeah, now that that section's all cleared up, the next order of business will be this section down here. So, since we moved the spawn point up here, I can finally finish this point. Let's do that. Do I have a level 3? Yes, I do. Okay. Oh, also, if you're still here, Record, did want to say thanks again for deciding to play that game I made when I was a bit younger. It was really cool to see your perspectives on it, since you've also have developed some games before, and I'm glad to see that you really enjoyed it. Super fun to revisit that. All right, so the rattles can still. Something I just realized. Can the player actually see the rattles from? Okay, they can. They're right there. So this shouldn't come as a surprise when the player drops down here and they suddenly start getting attacked. Yep, you have only one different one. Fair enough. I mean, perfectly fine, Raptor. Okay, so I think the way the rattlesnakes are. So okay, they do eat me off, that's good. I want to make sure just we don't like get stuck on rattlesnakes. Oh, we want to do that one, but not do that one. Okay, we could probably tighten up the rattlesnake space in there. That's fair, Drop, because I made, prior to Heartwell, I've made quote-unquote 2 games. The first one I consider just okay, not that good, just, just testing, little Space Invaders kind of thing. And, whereas the other one, I consider much better quality, but still, a bit sloppy, more so just because I was a bit early in the developer. Well, that's not, I think that's the good one, correct, where I'm saying the other one, it was just okay. It was, technically a game. But yeah, that one you're exchange record is very enjoyable. I agree. Alright, so I think that section makes sense, because again, the whole point of this is that... Oh, okay, yeah, perfect. Perfect! Yes! The nets are vicious, but I also want to make sure that a player can't just, walk through this without much issue. As you can see, simply trying to say, okay, we'll just split the difference and walk it, that's not going to work. You have to have at least a little thought. Can't even really stand there. The cobrattles are vicious. As you see, oh. But you have to... It also kind of says the cobrattles advantage here. The projectile actually does blend in quite well with this background, which I'm okay with, because you consider that sort of a little bit of an escalation. But still, running around in circles is fun. But what makes this more vicious is that you can't really fight back like that very easily, because again, as always, the rattlesnakes are acting as sort of a meat shield. So you have to at least close that distance. Now, once you close the distance, you can get completely annihilated, because the cobrattles never know when to stop. But in all seriousness, this fighting back in this circumstance is still quite doable. Ooh. Hang on, chat. I actually like this song. One second. I don't like this. This one's fun. It's called Unseen. I love the piano. This looks like a fun section, to be honest. Actively dodging projectiles while looking for opportunities to hit bad, relaxing. Very true. Now, you'll be saying, Antomicx, why would I want to come over here? Because over here, at least in the planner, so the way this section's supposed to work is the way forward is up here, but there's a lever gate there. And the lever is right there at the end. So for someone who's coming through this section, if they want to do it first try, they need to hop, they fall down here, now they're in the cobrattles range of influence, and then they need to find some way to get to that lever, hit that lever, then get all the way back here. So for testing purposes, we're not just going to jump up here, we're actually going to fall down, try to get to this point, then run back. Because that's what a player would be doing if they tried to one-shot this section. That's what the only reason I go anywhere is because it's not the way you're supposed to do. Exactly, but the thing is, though, you won't be able to progress by just going up here. But at the same time, the clever player will realize, oh wait, I could use this as a little resting point. In fact, you might even, like the clever player, might actually use their platforming skills to close the gap here, because even though they won't be able to get through a gate here quite yet, the cobrattles can't actually hit you up here because, you're at a higher elevation. And that, my friends, is called teaching through gameplay, because again, the player could just try a brute force this, that might not be as easy. I mean, to be fair, the section isn't that difficult. And we just switch up that. Easy peasy. And yeah, as you can see, not too bad. I say as I get Hold on. I can do this without getting hit. I promise. Okay, sprint through that, hit the lever, wait for the attack, chop that. Alright, and there we go. And that would be that section, chat. So again, not too bad. Player makes use of their stills. Also like this one. Hold on a second, chat. I'm just gonna light that real quick. Nice and relaxing. Honestly, chat, this song kind of makes me think of like some of those, like seeing like a modern city at night when there's just lights everywhere and it's so it's cold but it's pretty. It's a cold night out, but it's pretty. So that's that section. Now you might be saying to yourselves, okay, Antomicx, we got through that section, what comes next? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, what comes next in our happy little well filled with many snacks is the introduction of some cobras, as well as some cobrattle stuff, where we start to mix things together a bit. Now, in order to do this with the cobras, we are going to have to do some tailoring, because as you can see from some of these sections, these are sections that actually will require some pathfinding thought process, and not just, oh yeah, we just plop down the cobra and everything will be fine. So, what I intend to do, chat, is copying over the corral code is going to take some time, because it does influence a lot of different sections. So instead, what I'm going to do is probably place down the... Actually, no, I really should just copy over the cobra code at this point, because that's just going to delay things further. I don't get the cobras over here. So, let's take care of that. I do wonder... Actually, did I copy over the cobra code? I might have. That'd be a pretty easy way to tell. Okay, no, I did not. If I had copied it over, it would have been in that section. So what I'm curious about, chat, is was there anything here that's different from the Central Wells program? Because if it's not, but besides the obvious cobrattle faces, if it's not, okay, there's some, I think that's largely the same. So it's not different, then what we can do is we can literally just copy and paste the code from this frame into the other frame. Yeah, you're starting to feel sad that you've been procrastinating ever since you start working. You need about 10 minutes. Yeah, you should, Record. Like, it should be like your hobby thing to be done. That'd be cool. Because I don't think there's anything unique about this section, at least not yet, compared to the others. So, chat, it is time to brute force the programming code. So, grab it all of it. Will this work? Hopefully. Chat, we... Okay. So, what I'm going to do... I'm going to literally delete everything and then copy it over and see what happens. Oh, wow, that's actually surprisingly quick. Does it still function as intended? That's the real question. Oh dear. Well, something's not functioning as intended. I know why. It has everything to do with how that's set. What portion of code was that? It's the code that anything involving the these, it's different between those frames because we go to a higher elevation here. But for me looking at this, I think we should be able to basically copy over anything above the z-axis grouping and we should be okay. Watch it. No, we're not. It has to be above the mouse grouping. So... Nope. No. I'm sorry. Your wife mentioned doing dishes on the phone while you wrote. Fair enough, Rick. Fair enough. Okay. So anything above the mouse, where would that put us? Where's the mouse in this section? Okay, the mouse is below the anything involving the cobras, which is what we want. So copy that. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so far not noticing major lag jumps or anything like that. Oh, that was bizarre. Is that a height problem too? It might be. Yeah, okay. How do you convince yourself to stop procrastinating the tile set? So I would say Director is define the task, so to speak. That's what I did. In fact, after I saw you playing my game on one of my older games on stream, I got back into the swing of actually writing stuff out and playing ahead. So like writing high-level goals, then tasks for those goals, and subtasks, and so on and so forth, until you reach the point like, oh, it's actually straightforward what you need to do. So if you find yourself stuck there, that's the first thing I would do. Is like, okay, go back to the outlining stage, go back to the planning stage, go back to writing. And once you've got that, so in your case, the tile sets, you have to think, okay, well, first list out the major areas of the game, the major setting, then then you can eventually get down to a list of specific objects to draw, specific environments, and what those might look like. And at the super level, you can even like describe what they should look like. That'll make it way easier to draw. So basically, Director, I have a self-imposed rule when it comes to planning, and that's if I look at something for more than 10 seconds and I don't understand what to do, it means I need to write more detail. You know? So if you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna work on style sets and it's been over 10 seconds, that means you don't understand what to do and you need to better define it. That's all. And there's a phrase that I've heard before. A famous person once said, if you can't write it down, you don't understand it. So writing stuff down forces you to really think through what you're trying to accomplish. And speaking of which, something we should be trying to accomplish here has to do with height setting. So what we're finding is the rattlesnake code from the previous area didn't have didn't need to have like higher like checks for where it starts on the z-axis, and that was causing a problem because here we obviously have higher elevations. So once again, if we're trying to brute force this, we should just do everything above the rattlesnake. Ooh. Also light this on. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, honestly, this kind of makes me think of like Life is Strange for some reason. I feel like Life is Strange had quite a number of tracks with like light sounding, just like a very sort of atmospheric guitar like this. Just yeah. True, Life is Strange did have a dark story towards the end, but it made sense for what they were going for. At least in my opinion. And why are we grabbing everything? I don't want to grab everything. Okay. Maybe if I have stops there. Man, it just really wants to grab everything, doesn't it? If I go up to, like, number 2. No, it just grabs it all. That's not what we want! That's not what we want! Oh, wait, I know what we could do. What if we just go up to, like, the high level, which is the cobra itself. That might work. Where's my new cobra? Stuff. Oh, okay, we want that. Want that. No! Stop! I don't want to copy everything. Okay. Alright. At least get a subset of this. Okay, that's better. Oh yes, you agree. The Life is Strange was going for a certain tone, which made sense for the art. Yep, very true. Very, very true. Control C. Right, that object isn't in this frame. Or go too crazy. Alright, chat. So we copied some things over. I still think there's probably some things we're missing here. Namely, it's probably... Let's start comparing the code. Well, it has something to do with, yeah. Yeah, I need to have a for each loop on this, and I need to... It's these lines here that can be troublesome. And we respawn. Weird, I thought I copied this line. Oh. Silly me. That's why. Any ID indexing? Yeah. Yeah, Gregor, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was the same way. Like, when I was playing through Life is Strange, I understand that Chloe's supposed to be the canon pairing, but I personally never really liked it that much. I honestly thought, like, Max had more chemistry with the other guy, but that's just my own opinion. And yes, you know, that guy always gets, like, the short end of the stick, so to speak. Like, he's barely in the story at all. Whereas Chloe's, like, always up front. Well, I should barely in the story at all compared to Chloe. Like, Chloe's just literally all over the story. Yep, I know what you mean, Record. I know what you mean. So cobrattles, I have played Life is Strange too. It's set in the same universe, but the circumstances are quite different. It does not involve... all you need to know about Life is Strange 2 is it follows a completely new protagonist. And the interesting thing about Life is Strange 2 is that whereas Life is Strange 1 lets you play as the person with the paranormal powers, in Life is Strange 2, it's actually the main character's brother who has the power, so you don't necessarily have direct control or influence over them. It's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Alright, I think that'll work. Let's give it a try. Alright, well, I'm not seeing massive lag, so that's a plus. Why don't we actually move a cobra into the area just to see how it moves. Let's get our happy little cobra. Place them in their happy little box. You know, I know there's a clear difference, but since you walk so seamlessly down the ledge, but I don't know for sure. I think the... Oh, you mean without people falling? I think that's more just the way that, I think that just has a lot more to do with how Heartwell is structured in terms of its depth. Yeah, I know what you meant with the shelves, so the way it's structured, this is more like a 2.5D situation. And I can't even see the cobra. Where'd the cobra go? Oh, I am dumb. I am very dumb. I forgot to do something important. I need to deactivate the old cobra code, because that's messing with stuff. Alright. Not doing anything, which is fine. Let's move this out of the way so we can actually get ourselves over there. Okay. Seems to want to go to his little spot. I feel like we're missing something. Probably has something to do with the projectile code. Yep. I remember that happening before as well, so there's something we forgot to copy over for the projectile code. Okay, so it won't be in the node finds. We literally copy that over one for one. Where would it be? Yeah, something to do with the cobras. Enemy respawn, which you did copy over. There's also an object we need for... Does this happen before? I remember this happening before. Is that an object? Oh. I know what it is. We didn't give it the right. Does not have a... We don't have, it doesn't have a bouncing ball movement. Whereas this one does. Yep. Okay, that looks more like it. Okay. Damage is still good, I think. Where's our health at? Whoops. I think it's working? It is definitely chasing us, which is good. And when we go out of frame, it goes back to its starting point. All right, chat, look at that. We have Cobra. We have Cobra Snack. It slithers. It slides. The final test, though, we'll be having 2. Because we need this to get out of head. No, we need this to just double check that it's actually properly treating each one individually. Oh yeah, I think we're good. Look at that, chat. Look at that. It's glorious. It's glorious. Yes. Yes. The cobras, they act independently. They have different health. I'm assuming they have different health amounts. Yep, different health amounts. Look at that. We good. Rip Dorothy. Anyway. Actually, let's make sure they're doing the correct amount of damage. They should be... What damage did I give Cobras? 225, is that why I have them here? I think that's why I have them here, but... Yep, okay, that's 225. Alright, so I'll just again confirm that's actually dealing 225 damage. That is not 225 damage. Okay. I know what we have to do next. So let's make sure that it's the actually correct here. No, it's not 225 there either. It's 175. Which is exactly the same as the rattlesnakes. Wait a minute. It's not... I don't think it's the... It's actually this that defines it? It might be. No. It should be yielding 225, instead we're getting 175. Oh. No, I thought what was this? This is fascinating. I think the rattlesnakes are overriding the cobrattles, the cobra's damage output. Yeah, so I think what's happening is the rattlesnakes are overriding the cobra's damage amounts. If I were to set like this to 0, for example, it would still be doing, I think, 225 damage, 175 damage. Yep. Bizarre. Very bizarre. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's actually getting subtracted from the player? Where's the player's health actually get subtracted from, I wonder? Aha! Chat, we found our culprits! We found it! It's hiding in plain sight. Alright. I'm pretty sure we fixed this in this frame. Didn't we? Yeah, we did. Alright. What? Alright, that should do that. Then it would be possible to play a Anya build in Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Let me think about that. Yeah, I think it would be. I just consider what Anya does and go from there. I think Anya would just be a pure intelligence build. Use all the magics. Probably also a crossbow for way back when. Alright. Let's try this out. Too bad Dormless isn't a stat. True! Alright, now it's actually doing 0 damage, which is... lines up. Make sure rattlesnakes still do the same amount of damage. They should. That was definitely 225. Now it should do 175, so it should be at 100 health. Yep. Now as a final test, let's do rattlesnake and then cobra. Yep. It's 175. This again, I'll have to line that. Yep, there's our 225. Okay. Alright. Well, chat, I think we got it. We got it, chat. We have successfully transferred over the data we need, so that means we can finally start playing with the moving the cobras to places. Starting with down here. I think a simple node finding thing would work. Honestly, well, let's let stuff there. So I think what we'll need is like a node there, try to make that work. Start placing the and this one isn't an L-shaped section, so it should be not too bad. We can just leave it towards the middle here, and that'll give it plenty to work with. Alright chat, this will be a good spot for our second break, so don't worry guys, I'll be right back. Alright, chat, welcome back to Raven 1. Oh, Copper Nicholson says something you learned is that test only now being sent. Awesome, Copper Nicholson. I'm glad to... I'm glad you, I'm glad that's happening for you, dude. Happy for you. So yeah, you did really well on the test, and now you're getting potential interviews. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. Well, keep us posted on how that's going, dude. Happy for you. So let's see here. I say Copper Nicholson, but you clearly showed that you were more than capable of taking the exam, so again, go on you. So again, you're definitely a lot smarter than you give yourself, that others might do you credit for, Copper. I think that's reflective of that. Anyway, speaking of ideas, though, let's add this to the to-do section, because once we start getting into Cobra programming, it does get slightly more complicated. It's not simply just drag and drop and there we go. We do need to, there's a little more tailoring that's involved with the cobras. So, custom tailor the cobra lines lines of cobra code that are not rectangular spaces at z equals 0. Yeah, I'm glad you took the initiative, Copper Nicholson. Looks like it'll pay off then. That's awesome. Rectangular spaces at z equals 0. As follows. Set zones to force in specific areas to force specific cobras. Actually, do I even need to do that? I might not need to. There might already be code for that. Let me check the z-axis coordinate stuff. Where is it? Aha, there is. Level 1, level 2. Well, I don't need to. Do I need to go beyond that? I might. That's level 2 section. Is there any section taller than that? There is. There's that section. Okay, we'll need to go to level 3. There's my z-axis control. Where is it? There we are. Yeah, these are all star frame conditions. And not super complicated in terms of lines of code, but definitely important. Since this automates the process, so we don't have to worry too much about at least saying the z-axis coordinates. So in this case, level 3. Level 3. Also, this is a fun song. Let's keep that there. Really like the saxophone. Anyway. Okay, that should take care of the z-axis. So really, it's going to come down to to have specific nodes as part of the node finding rework. Oh no, chat. It looks like we have ourselves a bot. Spam your emotes, chat. Spam your emotes. Spam the emotes. Spam those emotes, chat. I'll get that down. I'll make sure they're banned. Don't you worry. Give me 1 second. All right, we're good, chat. We're good. They're banned. We are good, chat. Also, love the Dorothy emotes. That's all good. Man, it's been a while since that's happened, hasn't it? I'd much rather have that happen infrequently than have it be constantly happening, you know? But I also like how it's like, this has happened enough times to us to know what to do. I find that kind of amusing, chat. Yes, it's like, as soon as I say like, oh, we got a bot, and it's like, yep, it's time to spam the emotes, you know? We did. We're good. Okay, so where is the node finding sections? Because we'll need basic path finding. And I think point node finding. Pretty sure these can be activated at the same time without overriding things. Ah, now here it is. Let me try. If I activate this at the same time, will I get contradictions? Probably, but we will check. Do some hoppy hops. More towards the lower sections. Okay. Whoa. What? They're moving super fast. Oh, that's because there's two, right. Yeah. Alright, and that one's now defaulting to some different node. I wonder... I'm amazed the corrals didn't see me there. That one's starting there. Now, as soon as it sees me, yep, all good. Now if I jump up here, it wants to go back to its little corner. Ow. Wait, what? Why can't I jump over that? Oh, does it think it's like a... I think it thinks its z-axis coordinate is higher than it actually is. It didn't seem to be a problem with the previous frame, though. Unless... 2070... 2071... That resolve the problem? Let's find out. Also, lighting this on, let's add that to the list. Okay. So can I jump over this? I cannot. Alright, clearly we're going to need to tailor the z-axis coordinates of this, because I don't think there's any way to override the... So, what I think is happening, chat, is it has to do with where we're starting. So if I were to put, like, this cobra here, for example, maybe that would solve the problem? Like, then we'll both just be at 0. Yep. Alright. That's funny. But I digress. So I think... Alright, different theory. If we were to set this on top of a z=1 section, what would that do? Okay, let's see if this is truly z=1. If it's z=1, then I'll be able to... I can't hop that. Whereas from here... I can't hop that. What? I to get back, we are going to have to tailor the z-axis. So set zones to force specific. To have specific. Yeah, I was really hoping we'd be able to automate that. What does the code say? This line? Because in the other frame, there was no problem. At least I don't think there was a problem. Did I ever try jumping over the cobras? I don't think I did. At least try to build one over here. Okay, I can jump that one. Not the other one. Nope. Alright, so that means if it's at 0 equals 0. I have to do a not overlapping condition. Would that solve the problem? I wonder. Alright, Copper Nipples. See you posting some emotes there. Cool. let's try this again. Still can't hop it. Alright, that's not working. Is this a question of being overridden, though, or... I have the for each for this, right? Yeah, I have to. Okay. Let me check something. Could I actually... Pretty sure I can still jump over these guys, right? Oh. That just happened. I can still jump that. Why is it different? Weird. Okay, so it's defaulting to 1. Okay, I think the Z-axis control doesn't work as intended. That will need to change. Add that to the bug list. Create cobra highest level in still makes sense. And hop these. Yeah, I can still hop those. Is there anything I'm doing? Okay. What I'm curious about, chat, it just seems so bizarre here, is like the rattlesnakes, they have no problem saying their heights based off where they start. I wonder. Oh, wait a minute. No, we do set it there. Why is it different? Browse had no problem with this, right? But why would this be any different? Wait, do these not have... No, they must have the right coordinates, otherwise we won't be able to use them correctly. Still hop that. Collision works as expected. Jump that. My order isn't quite correct there. Besides that, though, it's another thing to fix. Yeah, I'll have to add that to the to-do list. Conditions not the case. Stress line the order called, and since the for each object can get easily confused if it is Alright. Let's try that. I think I've seen it. Yeah, copper. Just been busy. Okay. That seems to make sense. Pretty sure we can sprint jump that. Yeah. Okay, that seems to fit the order problem. With the cobras, at least. Or cobrattles, I should say. No. So let's try the others. What's that? Oh, copper. I'd say pretty much everyone's a philosopher in their own way, in the sense that they have some kind of thought process for how they see the world. It's just more of a question of how much you are invested in exploring philosophy than anything else. I think the order is making sense. Still fits the ZX problem. Okay, but at least the order problem seems to be fixed, so I can... It's not too difficult to fix. There we go. just wait for that. Can I stay in there and jump in? Will that make sense? Okay, that makes sense, but also glitches. That's funny. Oh, Dorothy. Whatever shall we do with you? Definitely need to come up with a fix for that. Ow. Well, so to be fair, Breckor, that bug has happened a lot less since I got rid of the lag spiking issue from the disk lab code that I fixed. It's more so that I still need to come up with a fix for that bug anyway when it does happen. I just want to cast the cobrattles. Is that too much to ask? Thanks for dropping by, Raptor. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night, dude. I think the order's all fixed, so that's a relief. Cross that one off the to-do list. Actually, might want to just double check in the test room as well, since that sets the standard for everything. Also, like this song. Okay. Aha, I do need to fix this here. All right. Just add a note here. It says fixed in order. Dr. Nicholson, we've already been over this. You already know my opinion. And I think our definitions must be different. And I'll leave it at that. Check these lines of code to see if the order of these orders greater than or less than the order of the cobrattles/rattlesnake. Depending. Now, Copper Nicholson, the way I define it is virtue is good, vice is evil. But the way I've seen you define it doesn't seem to fit into that mold. Anyway, that's a discussion for some other time. Right. That should fix that. All right. Yeah, as a bit layer, what I think I'll do is let's the cobras are something we can investigate on a different stream. No, Copper Nicholson, I disagree, but again, that's not a conversation for here, dude. So what I think I'll do is I'll place down at least some of the rattlesnakes and cobrattles. At least in these areas over here. We'll still have to do the cobras, of course, but that's something we can work on. I think we can at least get all the rattlesnakes and cobrattles placed on this half of the map. I think that would be a good progress point. Alright, so how many do we need? So... okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. here. There we go. That should do. It's for the cobrattles. Now let's test some rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes, we just have this section over here. I think that should do. Fascinating. We can actually... We don't want a sight. We do. Okay. That's potential cheese on the player's part. I'm okay with that. Alright. Oh, that's fun. I love the placement of that cobrattles. It's perfect. Matter of perspective, cobrattles. Like for Dorothy, these snakes might be trying to, you know, defeat Dorothy, and that's a bad thing. Yeah, that's a fun little section. Alright, so we come over here. How do you not see me? Rattle. Rattle. Oh. Did I not give them... I don't think I did I? I didn't give them stuff for these higher heights, did I? Alright. Let's remedy that. Well, cobrattles, I'm not arguing with that, but that's not the circumstances we find ourselves in Copper. This is, you know, a fantasy setting of sorts where, you know, the snakes are dangerous to Dorothy. And that's all there is to it for the contents of this game, cobrattles. Just as in Dark Souls, cobrattles, and there's plenty of other, like, giant animals that, again, you can't befriend, they just want to destroy you. So, like, for example, in Dark Souls, there are, like, these massive rats. And these rats, cobrattles, and will attack you no matter what. So you don't make peace with them, they're just something that's in your, that's trying to defeat you. So again, that's not the kind of game that says cobrattles. Not really within the scope of this game, cobrattles. let's try this section again. Yep, that's perfectly up to you. That's perfectly fine, Top for Nicholson. It's up to you how you want to approach it. Okay, good. Okay, so that's such a move one. Okay, so that solved that problem, I think. To be fair, I did not try jumping over the cobrattles, so I should double check that. Okay, I can still jump over those. Alrighty. Jump over this one. Real question. Yep, I can. Ow. It will be good then. Now let's check this section down here, and that'll probably be it for tonight. Okay. Good. Ow. Ooh, that is vicious. Alright, that's good. Alright, chat, I think this will be a good spot to start wrapping things up. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to stick around for a raid. But if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube. You can always change your mind later, as right way to show support. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you have an awesome night.